I can only say, but it was by the grace of God that I was able to get through. I stayed there for 5 years. Longer than I didn't want to stay there for 5 minutes. I thought it would only take me a year to get us together and get us out of there. But it didn't happen. For some reason, God chose me to do what it was that I needed to do, to go back, to help them. And I'm not saying that to say I wasn't terrified, because that would be a lie. I was terrified. I did not want to do it. I did not want to be there. In fact, I resented the fact that they asked me to do it. Families are funny. When grief takes hold of you, you say things and you do things that are completely out of your character, and you don't understand where it's coming from. But you do it and say it anyway. So I'm asking you today to release yourself of the burdens, of the heavy baggage that you've been taking and carrying around and putting on your back because you felt like you owe somebody something. No matter who they are, no matter who they are, be careful about how much baggage you carry around, because it turns into enslaving yourself back in the crevices of your mind of dark thoughts, negative thoughts that pollute everything that you want to do ever in your future. It takes hold of you. It slams you to the ground, not literally, but figuratively, and reminds you that you are not supposed to be happy, that this thing happened to you, so you are marked for dirt or filth. You are labeled because why would you let that happen? That's your fault. Maybe you shouldn't have been around. I was a child. I had no idea that such a thing would happen to me, especially by someone who was supposed to be an adult and a guardian. How was I to know? So I'm saying all this to say to you, protect your peace, protect your mind, and guard your heart. And know that whatever it is that you're going through, take heart, because God has already overcome this world and all the horrible things that we have been through. Forgiveness is very difficult for me. There's a list. And I laugh about it because I have to. Otherwise, I'll just be boo-hooing in tears all the time. I have fought through depression. I have been in therapy for a number of years. I have lost weight, gained weight. I have not recognized myself. I have had issues with relationships because I just don't know where they're going to go with their anger, how angry they become. And then I feel like I need to get away from them or super protect myself and become just as angry as them, because now I feel like I have to fight. And I don't want to do that. God didn't create me to fight nobody. So I don't know why things happen the way that they happen to a lot of us. I can only say that what evil meant to harm me, God turned it around for good. Because had it had not been for me, my siblings would have been in foster care. They would just let them go because they didn't want to take the responsibility, because they knew what kind of household that was. And they knew what kind of trauma that we were all facing. So they knew that they were not going to be able to deal with it. Now, that doesn't make them bad people. It just means that they were not able to do what they were called to do. So you may have to make a choice today, beloved. Your choice would be whether you are going to run back into the fiery flames so that you could save the ones that you love and protect them from being burned. Or do you walk away in hopes that you can find a hose to put out the fire, right? In the hopes that you could get a hose in time enough to put out the fire. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But the choice is always up to you. In that time, I felt like I had no choice. Just like I'm sure Esther felt like she had no choice. So when you move forward through your day, just remind yourself that you are worthy. You are affirmed by God. That you are fearfully and wonderfully and divinely and undefinably made, whole, complete, and lacking absolutely nothing. Your purpose here is to do what God has called you to do. Whatever that purpose is, you will know it because it is a thing that you love to do that brings purpose and a smile to God's face. That would be the thing that you do the best. You do that. You don't need to take on the burdens of those who do not stand up and help you. Now, my siblings, they were younger. They couldn't help me, but that doesn't mean that they don't help me now. That doesn't mean that I haven't gotten numerous long apologies and thank yous from them, but I didn't need that from them. What we needed was not to have to go through any of that in the first place, because they were just as much as victims of the situation as I was. So today we're survivors. Today we are business owners, master degree owners. We're doing well in corporate jobs that we have. We have gotten to levels that we never thought that we could. We travel and we get to do things that we hope to pass on to our children and grandchildren. Not trauma, but love, hope, trust, possibilities. Because we know that with anything that we try to do may be impossible with human beings, but it's definitely possible with God, because he is a God of infinity and all things are possible with God, especially for those who love and trust him. So as you move forward through your journey today, also know that you're not alone. So fear not. Fear not, because God is with you. He is your God. Be courageous, be strong, because he is there with you, fighting whatever battle that you need to fight with you. Okay? And those battles that you can't fight, he will fight for you. He is a way maker, a miracle worker, a promise keeper. He is a rock, a redeemer, a protector, a provider. He's a healer. He is a stronghold, a strong tower. He is our strongest power. He is grace. And he's given it to all of us freely. And he is God of forgiveness. So whatever you did, whatever I did, whatever you have done or may do, seek his forgiveness, because he'll give it to you. That's why he says that we need to forgive others so that we can be forgiven, so that we're not bounded by some bondage of hatred and animosity and vengeance in our hearts, because it's polluting our souls. So we have to be careful of that too. And I know it's difficult, because I still can't find forgiveness for the person who beat me so bad and almost killed me several times and put me in a point where I have issues that now have riddled me disabled. So I can't, how do I find forgiveness for that? I don't know, but I'm working on it. How about you? I hope that you're working on it too. God knows it's difficult, but I'm not looking to seek revenge because I know that there's nothing I can do to man that God can't do beyond my imagination. God is the creator of all creators, right? So at the end of the day, he can do things that I could never dream of to the people that persecuted me and damaged me and tried to break me and kill me and thought it's okay that they would get away with it. That's not him, but he will do what he has to do to protect his children. So know that yes, you may walk through the valley of shadow of death, but you fear no evil because God is with you. You move forward in knowing that he never gave you a spirit of fear. He gave you a spirit of love and power and peace. So exercise those things today. Exercise sound mind and self-discipline and self-control today. Okay? Remember that you have work to do. We all do. We all have work to do here, whether we are advocates, whether we are activists, whether we are counselors or doctors or leaders, captains of industry, whether we are teachers, whether we are leading our homes and raising our children, our grandchildren. We all have a purpose, a calling here. So don't be concerned that you feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. It will come to you. Just be patient with yourself. Okay? And as you continue to move forward through your day, try to keep as many good, positive thoughts as possible. And I know it is difficult, but try to keep as many affirmations in your head that you can, all right? And repeat them to yourself. You look in the mirror and you say, I love me. Yes, I have a scar over here. Yes, my nose may be a little bit wider. Yes, people are saying I need to lose weight. Yes, I may have short hair when I really want long hair. Yes, I can't stand math, but I'm still going to work this business. Yes, I have fallen a few times because this is like business number 52. But this might be the one, right? So whatever you're saying to yourself, flip it around. Feed yourself some good soul refueling food today in your mental today, okay? Because that will come out in your actions and it will change your thoughts and it will give you the strength to remember that we have to persevere. We have to press on. It gives us endurance when we rejoice. Well, let me rephrase. We have to rejoice when we are facing trials. Why? Because it increases our endurance, it increases our perseverance, and it gives us a greater sense of confidence and strength and hope. Because we know there's a salvation, right? We know that all these things is going on here. Don't focus on what's going on in this world. Focus on what's above, all right? God has not left or forsaken you. He will never do that. You have to believe that. You have to believe that just as he can turn water into wine, part Red Seas, give sight to the blind, as he can stop tumultuous, treacherous storms with a command and wave of his mighty hand, he can make your dream a reality. He can rock your business. He can soar your vision to do that investment that you wanted to do. He can do it, but you have to trust and believe that he can. Lean in to the trust and belief that he can do it. Delight in him, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Don't give up. Be patient, because it goes